Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Today we're embarking on episode 7 of my Project Zomboid hardcore survival series set in the town of Drayton. And we've been interrupted by the sound of someone screaming their lungs out. As I said, episode 7 today, and we are going to be getting ready to continue my tutorial series, and to that end I've picked up a few odds and ends which allow me to start the tutorial. Importantly, we have the can opener to open some tinned food if we need it, and we have a bowl, but we don't have enough. We don't have a cooking pot, we don't have a frying pan. I do have a frying pan, but this is the frying pan that I've been using since the start of the series. I've actually been smashing zombies' heads with it. So I want to get a clean one. And I also would like to get my hands on some matches or an ignition source. I know I don't have anything in here, unfortunately. So the things that we are going to be looking for today are an ignition source, matches or a lighter, a frying pan that I haven't used to crack zombie skulls, a cooking pot, and finally, if I can get my hands on it as well, a roasting pan. Now, with all of those items as well as some bowls, I'll be able to make some basic meals. And more importantly, I'll be able to boil some water, because eventually the water is going to go out and we're going to need a reliable source of clean water, and at the moment I don't have that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start looking around town and see what I can find. And we're going to start with the building closest to me, the one on my left. And then we're going to comb the town and hopefully we'll manage to find some more cooking supplies. Now, if I get time, I'm also going to hit up the Gigamart, the giant supermarket that we robbed back in, I believe it was episode 3. And I'm going to grab some non-perishable food. I'm going to show you how to cook that as well. So the tutorial is going to be the next thing that I upload, and hopefully we'll have everything that we need. We'll manage to get our hands on everything in this episode. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my wooden stakes with me, and it would have been a really good idea to get my hands on some. So we might get off the street and use this opportunity to search the house. It might break up the zombies a bit to lead them into this house here, but I don't want to get myself cornered, so let's see how we go. We'll start with the furthest point here. What we're looking for is kitchens. So anything with a kitchen, we'll be able to find some cooking pots, some frying pans, some bowls. I'll need some bowls when I might want to make some soup. And also a roasting pan to make some roasted vegetables, or just roasts in general. They're really easy things to make, and it's a good way to level up your cooking skill and also get the absolute most you can out of your food. So I'm just going to grab some water while we're here. And I thought while I'm here, I'm just going to have a quick look. It doesn't look like there's much here that's valuable. Now, I think I have said this before, is whenever you go on a looting run in Project Zomboid, you want to have a good idea of what you want to get. Now, we'll need some salt if I want to preserve some food. You want to try and stick to a shopping list. There's so much useful stuff in this game. There's a frying pan. That's beautiful. We'll take that. So we can cross one item off the list. We'll take that butter knife as well. It'll make a makeshift knife if I need one. Okay, so that's one item off the list. That's great. I'm hoping to find myself a kettle and a cooking pot. And then when I get those, I'll be able to boil some water. I don't need to boil water yet, but for the tutorial I'm going to show you how to do that. So we've got a can opener already. We've got a frying pan already. We've got a trowel. So we've got all that stuff. Lighter fluid, we'll definitely take that. If we can find a cigarette lighter, we can fill it up with lighter fluid. So that's good. We haven't found everything we need yet, and we'll probably have to go further into town to do it. Oh, he's just chilling out there in the kitchen all by himself. Okay. I don't know what the use of a saucepan is. That's something I think that's been added by the Project Zomboid. Sorry, by the Hydrocraft mod. But we'll take it just in case. I'll work it out. Cleanser, carrot seeds. I might take those for a future episode in farming. That's something I really want to do, because one thing that everyone asks me about all the time is, how did you... in my other series, I had a massive farm, and it was I was in a town where I was pretty much cut off, and I had no source of food, so I had to completely rely on a farm, and the farm just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually I had a farm that was so big that I was farming enough for like 4 or 5 people, and it was kind of overkill, but it was a good experience because I managed to learn a lot of the tricks to farming and a lot of the intricacies of the different crops with the Hydrocraft mod. So Hydrocraft adds a lot of different crop types. So I'm not aware of all of them, but it does add certain crop types that are very valuable because they don't. You can basically grow non-perishable food, and as I'm sure you'll understand, that can be very valuable in the winter, where you can grow a massive stock of, for example, peanuts. There you go, roasting pan. Or you can grow a big stock of certain types of food that take a very long time to go rotten. Well, we don't need that. I don't want to fill up my inventory with stuff I don't need. A bowl. Now, one thing we will need is a kitchen knife, and I want to use a knife that I haven't used to stick in a zombie, of course. So we'll take that, and we'll take those seeds as well. Now, I'm also going to take this Tupperware container because I want to show you how to use those. You fill up Tupperware containers. Now, very silly, I did not, I didn't bring any food with me. So we'll take that bit of cabbage as well. All this is going to go rotten, so we'll probably overkill, but we'll take it. I can cook it in the next episode. So take that empty mug. I might also show you how to make a cup of tea, cup of coffee. Funny story. In real life, I was actually when I started in my current job, I was horrendous at making coffee. They had this really fancy ass coffee machine, and I made this coffee. I was so used to drinking instant coffee. I made this coffee, and it tasted like battery acid. And my boss at the time, he actually saw the look on my face when I made it, and he felt sorry for me and actually showed me how to actually make a pretty damn good cup of coffee. Actually, he'd done a barista course, so he was actually really good, and taught me how to make a passable cup of coffee that wouldn't poison me. That's excellent. We've got our cooking pot. We've also got a rolling pin, so that's something that's really useful if we want to make some bread. So let's have a look. Colander. Now this could be useful for mining as well, but we're going to go into that in a future episode. So let's have a look at what we've got so far. Take an inventory. I don't know. I don't remember picking up a cheese grater, but okay. We've got a colander. Most importantly, we've got a cooking pot. We've got an empty mug if you want to make some tea or coffee. We've got some frying pans. I'm going to... I don't know which one's a bloody one that I smashed. Oh, no, there we go. It's okay. I've got this. So these ones are clean. So I actually got two frying pans. I didn't want to use a frying pan I've cracked zombie heads with. We've got a kettle for boiling water. We've got a knife for cutting up meat and food. We'll need that to make some of the meat recipes. We've got a Tupperware container. And we've also got some fresh food. That's we don't have to worry about that too much. I've got plenty back at base. A roasting pan and a rolling pin. Awesome. So we have everything we need. The only thing that I am missing at the moment is an ignition source. So there are ways around that, but I want to try and get my hands on an ignition source. Hopefully find a pack of matches or a cigarette lighter. Pumpkin carving knife. I'll take that as well. They do become... And the flower sieve. We'll take that. We might as well just take all... I'll take all of the cooking supplies. The more the merrier. Another saucepan. Probably overdoing it, but that's okay. We'll take some eggs as well, because I think I can actually put eggs in a stir fry. We've got so much food I can afford to be a bit wasteful. Now, one other really handy thing that that the cooking skill gives you is when you get your cooking skill up high enough, you actually are able to do other things like, more importantly, that looks like I can jump out there, but I'm not going to risk that right now while we're on a looting run. There's a lot of other really useful things you can do, and in addition to just cooking food to make it last longer, you can preserve food. So there's canned chili, we won't take that. Mac and cheese, we might take that. I'm looking for, here we go, soup. So that's another thing off the list. Grab those zipper bags as well. Sweet. So now what I've got is there's a tea bag. I can show you how to make a cup of tea. That's good. Beautiful. Now I don't know how much I'm going to get through in the next tutorial, but the one thing that I really want to cover is the basics, like boiling water, how to make a soup, how to make a stew, all that good stuff, because not a lot of people think that, and I see it in the forums a lot, that cooking is a useless skill. And it depends on context. With the Hydrocraft mod, it actually makes cooking a very useful skill, because cooking unlocks a lot of really useful things late game. Like I said, you can preserve food, which basically takes the need for farming food away. Or when you farm, you can farm for food that you can get in stock. Like, for example, I made a crap ton of peanuts, which is one of the things that you can grow in the game. And they're not very nutritious, but I could grow hundreds of them before the winter. And then when winter came, and it's very hard to grow food, I had lots and lots of non-perishable food. Now, by the time winter was over, I was in pretty bad shape, because obviously eating nothing but peanuts wasn't a good idea. But the point was that it kept me from dying. It kept me from starving to death. So once summer came, I was able to get myself some nicer meat and some more vegetables and stuff, and then I bounced back to health. So as you can see, the one thing that I didn't bring on our looting run, which was very careless of me, was of course my trusty wooden stakes. I don't think I made enough of them. So we're going to be careful today. We're going to try and avoid the large hordes. I don't think I'm that far from home, but I don't want to run back home at this point in time. I'm not going to be soft. I'm going to keep going. So hopefully this looks like a good possible location to find some cigarette lighters. Cigarette lighters and matches can also be found in bins. So we'll have a look in these bins. You'll find them partially used. So people will use 3/4 of a cigarette lighter and they'll throw them in the bin. And that's pretty realistic. That's something... Well, okay, we're not going that way. That's something that I'd expect to see in real life. People are lazy. I don't smoke. I've never smoked, but it's something that I see a lot of. And it's amazing in a zombie apocalypse how fast you would become very efficient at using what you have at your disposal. And I think that's one thing that the Hydrocraft mod does really well. You know, it's the apocalypse and a lot of... Oh, wow, here we go, sledgehammer. Yes, son. That's what I want. Now, you know what that means. That means I can knock the staircase out of my base. So, whoa, crap. Damn, conga train of zombies there. So I'm absolutely ecstatic. I've been looking for that bloody sledgehammer since episode 1. So we finally got our hands on it. I'm absolutely stoked. We're gonna knock the crap out of my base, smash all the staircases out, make that secure as all hell. Unfortunately, we're still no close to finding our lighters, so I might have to admit defeat and run back home and look for a bladed weapon, because I don't think the old frying pan's going to cut it against this many deadheads. Let's see how we go, because I'm a masochist at heart. I might be lucky enough to pick up a knife from one of these guys. You know what I could do? Since I picked up a knife, if I find an old, like a plank or something, I can make some on the spot. Oop. Now it's about 3 o'clock in the day, and unfortunately we haven't made a lot of progress. What we have learnt is the north area of the town is completely overrun, so I'm really lucky that I settled to the south. If I was up here in this area, I'd be in quite a lot of trouble right now. I'd like to get in there, but that looks overrun too, so we want to look for soft targets, houses, high-rise buildings that aren't too heavily guarded. This looks like a possible... I don't know if I've been in here already. I may have. I think I may have. Nope. Okay. So, we'll grab another can of cream chicken. I don't know if I think I did get soup. That's all locked up. That's no good. All we need is a cigarette lighter, and I think we've pretty much got everything on the list. I'd like some more bowls. What have I got in the way of bowls? Bowl. Yep. Yeah, I really want to get inside one of these buildings because I needed that one more bowl, and with one more bowl I'll be able to make some soup. And that's what I really want to show you. Silencer. Nice. So I'm going to keep that in my inventory from now on, because I'm planning on grabbing one of the guns we picked up and shoving a silencer on it. I think there is a prerequisite to use the silencer in terms of the aiming skill. Another butter knife. Yeah, this looks like a hair salon, so we're not going to find anything here. Keep moving. This looks like an office. Let's go in here and have a look. Bathroom. I'm sure they'll have a kitchen in here somewhere. So I just need bowls. I need bowls and a cigarette lighter. Here we go. Bingo. So grab another cooking pot. Because, Pyrex dish. I don't know what that does, but I'll take that. And a pie pan. And I've got a kettle already. I'm going to have to start being more selective. I'm getting a little bit too carried away. There's a baking pan. Bread knife. I don't think I need a wok. I think I've got one at home. Okay. So no bowls, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. Because that's the one thing I really need. I really need to get my hands on some bowls. We're a little bit heavy on stuff, so give away that whiskey bottle. And bowls are pretty easy to find, but unfortunately, for some reason there seems to be a bit of a shortage of them. Here we go. There's a plank there. I can fashion that into a. If I can get these Zeds away, I can make some. Oh, damn. That puts paid to that. So the northern section of this town is completely overrun, and that's going to be a bit of a problem for me. because this is where I really want to go. This is the one section I haven't explored yet. And now I've got a silencer. If I can put it onto a gun, I might start using the gun to clear the town out. What I really want to be sure of is not to draw too much attention. So I don't want to be drawing zombies back from the north. I want them to stay in the north if I can. Because while they're up there, obviously they're not causing me any problems. There we go. Don't interrupt me while I'm looting, sir. Okay. So what I really want to do is start moving north, start clearing out some of these zombies. Obviously I'm not going to be able to fight that many, but not without a gun anyway. It sounds like there's a lot of Zeds somewhere. I can't quite put where they are. Oh, let's get out of here. It's a little bit crowded in here. It looks like it's going to take me more than one episode to get what I need, unfortunately. Get out of here, man. So, this looks like a nice high-rise building, so if I finally get rid of these guys, I'm in good shape to start cooking. But it's good that what happened was early in the game, in the first episode, I accidentally set off an alarm to the north, and I was running through a store, and it actually turned out to be a really good stroke of luck, because what it did was it pushed all of the zombies up to the north, and that meant that I was able to settle in the south relatively unchallenged. But as you can see, here we go. I just don't like the sound of those Zeds. They sound really close. Yep, that would be why. Get rid of this chick here. Okay. So, machete, we'll take that. That's it. That's in perfect shape too. That's awesome. So I've actually got a spare machete in my backpack, but I hung on to it for making wooden stakes, because you do... Whoa! There they are. That explains the sound. I'm gonna need to break the machete out. Stay down. They won't let me loot in peace. Alright. I hope that's the last of them for now. I'm not going to go any further north because I'm scared that I might attract more unwelcome attention. Okay, so still no bowls. Why is it so damn hard to find a bowl? Something that would be in every single house. I have bowls in my house. I don't know about you guys, but it's not inconceivable to think I would find a bowl inside a house somewhere. But it's funny because in terms of item rarity, you can play one game and you'll find 10 sledgehammers, and then play another game and you won't find a single one. And for me, it's always the saw. You can get really far into the game and then just not find a saw, and then you're stuffed because you can't build anything. And luckily for me, that's the main reason why we settled in the hardware store, because it was a no-brainer. There was plenty of hardware supplies, plenty of saws, plenty of everything. We're gonna I don't think we're going to have any luck. Unfortunately. Whoa, hey. Let's, there's nothing I need in there, so let's just keep going. I think I've hit everything I need to hit here. I have. Well, that's it. I'm going to head back home, but I'm going to look for the last item on my list in the building closest to me, because I did kind of just run through there because of the horde. So I really don't want to draw these guys to me. There we go. I snuck around them. I'm going to have one last look, because I'm sure that I saw some bowls in one of the early episodes. I moved a fridge, and I am sure that I saw some bowls in that building, but I'm gonna have another look. We're getting close to my home now, so I really want to try and not lead these guys back to my house. There seems there's another horde, there's a smallish horde that's settled here near the Gigamart. Now I don't need to go into the Gigamart because I think I've got everything. Actually I might, because they may have some bowls out the back in this area here in the kitchen. Let's have a look. My character is getting a bit tired now, so no bowls there. Ah, there's our lighter. Beautiful. And none there, none there. Another lighter, we'll take that. So that's okay. Cigarettes, we don't need those. Don't smoke, children. I've got enough lighters. Let's get out of here. So there's no bowls or anything here. That's okay. Because it's on the way home, I'm pretty sure that I saw some bowls in this building next to my house. So let's go there and have a quick peek. It might be my imagination, but I'm sure that when I moved one of these fridges, I saw bowls. None there. None there. Go away. She followed me all the way from the Gigamart. Okay, this is where I moved them. No. There's a roasting pan. Hey, bowls, I knew it. Okay. I'm sure I saw some. Okay, so we got everything we need. We'll grab that last cooking pot. And there's one last thing I'd like to do, and that is to get a box to hold all my new cooking stuff in. So, unfortunately, my carpentry skill is not really that good. But there is, of course, the supermarket down here. The small supermarket where I can pick up some cardboard boxes we can use. So let's go do that. I'm of course going to have to do a little bit of cleaning up after these guys come through. Here we go. So I want to pick this up. Whoops. We'll pick up this cardboard box. Beautiful. Unfortunately, that is going to weigh me down a bit, so I'm going to have to make this pretty quick. There we go. So all I have to do now is take out these last guys, and I'll pop my newly acquired box down, throw all of my cooking supplies into the box, and we'll be ready for the next episode on cooking. And shout out to Delilah from Down Under with a top comment from my last episode that I'm going to have to do some cleaning up of dead bodies of zombies. 100% right. Couple of suggestions I got was that zombie bodies can be used as a cooking fuel. So instead of wood, you can actually throw a dead body onto the fire and it will fuel the fire. Another suggestion I got, I believe it was from Hydromancer himself, if he's still watching these episodes. I don't think he does anymore. He suggested that dead bodies can be turned into charcoal. So we're actually going to test both of those theories in the next episode. So what we'll do is we're going to put, just wondering where I should put it. We'll put the box there. Put it there. Awesome. So now what we've got is we've got a nice fire here, and we've got a box of supplies ready to go next to the fire. That might be a little bit close. We might move that, but for now, let's put down all of our stuff and check that we've got everything we need. So some of this stuff I didn't really need, but got a knife, baking pan, bowls, they're essential. We've got a colander. I think that's used more for mining than cooking. Plenty of cooking pots. Couple of frying pans. A sieve for baking. Kettle for boiling water. Kitchen knife for cutting up meat and food. Lighters for starting the fire. Some fluid to refill the lighters. Tupperware container to put in extra food. We've got some fresh food, of course. I won't put that in there because it'll go off. Pie pan. Roasting pan. Rolling pin. Salt for seasoning and to preserve food. Don't really know what saucepans do at this point, but we'll find out. Of course, the sledgehammer, which is probably the best thing I've found in the whole episode. Tea bag for making some tea, spices, turmeric, and there's some twigs. I don't know how I picked those up, but they've been sitting in my backpack. Just check everything else. Pyrex, pumpkin knife, and I think that's about it. Plenty of machetes and some mugs. We'll make a cup of tea there. Cocktail glass, a cutting board, and cling wrap. We can use cling wrap for preserving food later on. And that's it. Oh, and of course some canned food. I'll show you how to cook canned food as well. And some zipper bags. Okay, so I apologise if this episode has been boring. I've mainly just been using it to prepare for the tutorials. Everyone loves the tutorials. Everyone loves the way I mispronounce the word tutorials, apparently. And I've been meaning to get back onto the tutorial train to start them again. They're very popular. So that's going to be... the next episode's going to be on cooking. So as always, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. I've been getting some massive subscriptions from a lot of fans of a guy called Cromulent at Archer. So Cromulent, if you are watching this episode, thank you. You have a really, really nice, friendly fan base, and a lot of them are really cool. So big props to you. And yeah, been getting a lot of support from people. A lot of people enjoying this series. It's obviously a lot better than my first attempt. But if you want to see more of this and you want to see me at my very first attempt, have a look to some of my earlier videos. I did a series in a town called Phoenix, and that was probably one of the most difficult playthroughs I've ever done. Way more difficult than this. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, catch the next episode. It's going to be a tutorial on cooking. And hopefully we'll catch you for that. Until next time, Skill Incarnate out.